Hi, my name is Alberto Vasquez. My major is political science, and the title of my capstone is The Spanish Donkey: How Political Campaign Presentations Vary for English and Spanish Voters. To start off with a little bit of background, in the United States, the second most spoken language is Spanish. As a result, political campaigns have established Spanish websites and social media posts targeting Spanish speaking voters. This includes 2020 Democratic primary candidates looking to gain the Democratic nomination for president. Past scholarship has focused on the political targeting of different voting demographics. However, there is a lack of scholarship analyzing the differences and similarities of English and Spanish campaign presentations. Which brings me to my research question. The research question that I'm trying to answer is, to what extent do primary candidates vary in how they present campaign materials to English-speaking voters compared to Spanish-speaking voters? To answer this question, I analyzed a sample of English and Spanish campaign websites and Twitter posts of the top 4 Democratic candidates in the 2019 November polls: Joe Biden, Elizabeth Warren, Pete Buttigieg, and Bernie Sanders. Also included in the sample is Joaquin Castro, the only Hispanic candidate in the primary. Castro was added to the sample to see if there were any major differences in presentation between non-Hispanic and Hispanic candidates. The study conducted a two-part content analysis, analyzing both the website users' accessibility and information and the tweets of each given candidate. The content analysis to measure the user accessibility of both English and Spanish websites is based off of Gulati and Williams' previous content analysis that analyzed user accessibility and user friendliness of the 2006 congressional campaign websites. I coded for the following sections in each campaign website: biography section, issue section, campaign news, email sign-up form, campaign event schedule, volunteer opportunities, videos, and campaign merchandise. To look into the major differences in plans and issues presented in each campaign website and Twitter post, I based my content analysis on Lee Lim's previous research. I coded for the following terms: education, welfare, climate change, healthcare, LGBTQ rights, immigration, family and childcare, taxes, military, and foreign policy. The findings. The findings show how more thorough information was presented in English campaign websites compared to Spanish campaign websites. As you can see in the chart, the majority of issues in English and Spanish websites were mostly the same for all campaigns except for Julian Castro, whose campaign did not offer an issues or plan section at all in their Spanish website. When it comes to plans, however, there's a significant decrease in plans available in Spanish. As you can see, the Buttigieg campaign did not offer any plans in Spanish out of their 20 plans available in English. For Joe Biden's campaign, they only offered one plan in Spanish out of the 15 that they offered in English. And both Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders only offered about half of their plans in Spanish from the plans that they were available in English. For the findings, direct Twitter posts were disproportionately presented in English compared to Spanish. In a course of 3 months, candidates tweeted a total of 4,510 tweets in English, but only 17 in Spanish. Bernie Sanders was the one candidate tweeting the most Spanish tweets, but only tweeted 6 times. It's important to note that all tweets had either a picture, a link to a newspaper article, or to a plan that they had just posted, or a video. It was never just a statement. There was also a lack of overall accessibility in Spanish campaign websites. Only the Sanders campaign had a Spanish merchandise website available. All other campaigns would redirect the viewers of the Spanish websites to an English merchandise website. All external links were also not available in Spanish. So every time a Spanish viewer would click on an external link, say to a newspaper article or to just like some local news, they would not be able to get it in Spanish. It would always be in English. And the majority of websites lacked volunteer information and opportunities in Spanish. However, the only candidate and campaign who offered volunteer information in Spanish was Joe Biden, and only offered it for two particular states, Nevada and South Carolina. So, some of the implications are that the differences in presentation of English and Spanish campaign websites and tweets show a disproportionate level of information being targeted to readers depending on the language voters are reading in. This is significant because it shows that campaigns are not doing enough to inform the increasing Hispanic electorate, many of which are Spanish speakers and are not fluent enough in English. This can lead to Spanish-speaking voters not wanting to join in the political process, which could essentially cost the campaign the election, or in this case, the Democratic nomination for presidency. Further research. The biggest constraint in this paper is time. Websites were only analyzed once in November, and the tweets were analyzed for a 3-month time period of November of 2019 to February of 2020. There's a possibility campaigns' presentations changed prior to doing the analysis. Further research in this topic should look into how campaigns are continuously changing their website presentations and Twitter posts from the start of the campaign to until the contest is over. Also, further research should compare the media statements from campaigns made to English media compared to Spanish media. Due to the limited scope of this analysis, future research should also look into the differences in English and Spanish presentations made by Republican candidates running in the primary and also in the general election. And that is it for my capstone. But before I end this presentation, I'd like to thank my mentor, Professor Evan Mandry, for helping me and guiding me through this entire paper and project, and also to my major capstone professor and my honors capstone professor for also giving me advice and helping me throughout this paper. Thank you, and hope you like this presentation.